But you can clearly see how this puzzle is basically just a glorified 3x3. It's not even a big cube, let's be real. It's just F2L, 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 and F2L, and then the last layer. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be all about this puzzle, the Megaminx. So in recent, probably like the last couple of weeks or so, a very famous Megaminx solver in the world, well, he's famous now because he's just absolutely and undeniably the best solver in the world. His name's Leandro Martin Lopez, and he is so good. He recently broke the single world record with a 23-second single on this thing, 12-sided dodecahedron. Well, a dodecahedron is 12-sided. Where it has five sides on each face and 12 faces. I guess that's a better description. It's not. But yeah, he has a 23 single and a 26 average, both world records, and that inspired me to make this video. But I will give you a disclaimer: A, this is not a tutorial. This is just how a Speedcuber solves a Megaminx, and you should check my entire How a Speedcuber Solves stuff series. I don't know what I named it honestly up here, but yeah. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. So here's a scrambled Megaminx, and by no means will this be a world-class solution. This is going to be, I would say, an intermediate to advanced solution. For reference, I average about 51 seconds officially and about 55 globally on the Megaminx, so I'm by no means even close to the best or even close to like being that good. So yeah, this is how a Speedcuber would solve this in general. So the first thing we do is in inspection, we're looking for, just like you look for the white cross with a 3x3. For example here, you look for the white cross pieces. Similarly, here we have 5 sides instead of 4. As you can see, it's a pentagon, and instead of 4. So we're looking for 5 star pieces, because you can see how it makes like a star. So in order to make the star, we're going to look for the 5 pieces. So I see white, red here. Again, I'm going to make the white star, just like the white cross on this. So we have white, red here, white, purple here, white, dark green here, white, blue here, and white, yellow here. So of course I'm doing this behind a camera, so it might be a bit harder. So now that we've located our 5 star pieces, what we do is figure out a solution in inspection to solve all of them. So the first step is to solve the star. So I see white blue can just go in here, white purple just goes in here, which sets up white green nicely, which helps me move yellow here, and I can just move red into place here, which I can also see the red green, I believe was here. But anyway, so just like that, I've solved the white star. And this is absolutely and completely analogous to solving the cross on 3x3. So now that we're done with that, the next step, just like 3x3, is F2L. So F2L is the first 2 layers, and it's the same for Megaminx. So I'm going to look for F2L pairs like this one right here, white, yellow, blue, and yellow, blue. And you can solve it exactly like an F2L pair. And there's in fact more freedom with the Megaminx just because you have so many axes of freedom. Like you can literally, so many degrees of freedom, you can literally just move pieces around the entire cube, and you don't have to worry about a lot of the orientation because all of these back sides are fully unsolved. And that really gives you all the freedom you need to solve this puzzle well. The other thing that a lot of cubers do at a higher level is back inserts, which you can't really do on the 3x3. So you can insert this white, purple, yellow pair all the way back here with R2 prime, U2 prime, and R2. It's a really cool insert that works only on the Megaminx. So yeah, and just like that, you find and pair all these pieces and you have F2L. The first 2 layers of the Megaminx are done. And you can clearly see it doesn't feel like a 3x3 where you would just have the last layer left. Now you have like so much more left. In fact, from this angle, the Megaminx looks completely scrambled. Of course, we know the first 2 layers are solved, but yeah, that's just from this angle. So that brings me to, yeah, so on the 3x3 that would look something like this. Pardon my terrible 3x3 solving, but yeah, it looks something like this. The first 2 layers are done, and this is just the last layer left on 3x3, but the difference here is we're not in the last layer, as I mentioned. So what Speedcubers usually do next is we pick, not all of them, I think professionals can do this in any order, but at least at my level, we pick a certain color, and then we go around the cube. So for example, we finished white, so white is done. We pick colors adjacent to white, and then we do exactly the same thing, cross and F2L on all the adjacent colors. So for me, that's yellow, purple, dark green, red, and blue. So I would go with yellow first. I usually like getting yellow out of the way because on the Rubik's Cube, it's the opposite color and I don't want to see it. So I will solve the yellow-orange edge piece like so, and also just do the yellow light green as well. So that's the yellow cross done. Then I'll do the yellow F2L pairs. So that's purple, that's green, orange, and then that's green, blue. So the yellow F2L is done. Just like white, now yellow is done. Then I move anti-clockwise to the left into purple, right? Because again, I'm staying adjacent to white. That's the key here. So I finish yellow, I'm going to move to purple. I see, actually I see a free pair for purple. I'm just going to put the pair, and actually I didn't have to insert it like that. I could just have done this. Inserts the pair. And then I'm going to get the cross edge in here. And then I'm going to solve the purple, blue, orange. Purple, light blue, orange. So that solves purple completely, right? Purple F2L is done. I move to dark green F2L. So same thing, I solve the edge, and then F2L. So that's dark green done. I move to red. See, as you can see, I'm moving just adjacent. I'm moving on all the colors adjacent to white. So now red, is an easy cross. That F2L pair. Now this pair is by far the hardest pair to solve. Also, this entire step is called the S2L. I should have mentioned this. So the S2L, yeah, it's a second 2 layers essentially. After first 2 layers, you go second 2 layers because it's all the other F2Ls basically. This pair is the hardest to solve, and I actually have probably the toughest case to do so. Because both my pieces are in the right place, just oriented incorrectly. So this pair, you usually have to be careful because you don't have any more free slots left around the cube. The only free thing left is like this part of the cube is unsolved. So yeah, you essentially have to insert it here first and then insert it back here. And I believe there is an easier way to do it. You can just do that technically, which is another freedom you get on the Megaminx. But anyway, that's red done. Lastly, we go to blue, and this is the easiest pair to solve. So it's just one F2L pair because all the cross pieces are done. And yeah, that's blue. And now you can see this resembles a 3x3 because now I have all of my other layers done, just one last layer remaining, just like the 3x3. So on the 3x3, before I get into the last step, you should know that world-class Megaminx solvers can pretty much finish the last layer in 2 algorithms. Like they would know how to solve this, and they would know all the Megaminx PLLs. I believe there's like 140 something. I may be extremely incorrect. Please correct me in the comments if I am. But yeah, there's a lot. So they can do all of them, and yeah, by no means do I follow that. I do essentially like a 4-look last layer. Just like a 4-look last layer on 3x3 would involve, if you don't know yet, you should watch my tutorial for how to solve the Rubik's Cube. But you have these 2 edges oriented. I would orient all the edges first, make the yellow cross essentially. For me, that's the gray. And I see these are like adjacent, so I would do that to orient all of the edges. And then I know almost all the corner algs, but they aren't too. This one is different from a 3x3, but not all of them are that different. So yeah, on 3x3, the next step would be, oh, I know this ZBLL, and I'm gonna do it because it makes one of my friends happy. I did it wrongly. He's probably, oh no, he's probably not happy anymore. But that's fine. That's fine. What is this alg? Is it that? No, it's not. Okay, so I seem to have forgotten this algorithm, so I will just leave it like this in memory of my failed attempt to learn ZBLL. But the next step would be to orient the corners. So on Megaminx, yeah, this one is just an algorithm. So I see this corner is facing here, this corner is facing there. I just do that. It's just easy. So now all the corners are oriented, and on 3x3, this would look like. Why do I not know this algorithm? I really should. What is this? Is this just not? Oh, there we go, there we go. Okay, that was a ZB. Yay. Okay, it only took me. It was my first try actually. I don't know what all the other cards were. But anyway, that was a ZB. Let me set up what a PLL would just look like, for example. So this is all done, and you would have a permutation left. So the next step on the Megaminx is to permute all of the edges, just like you would do on the 3x3 by doing something like the A-perm, which permutes, well, sorry, I apologize, permutes all the corners. You do edge permutation in Megaminx first, and I will tell you exactly why you do that. So the reason for that is, for example, I see this edge matches with this, and this edge matches with this. The light green and blue are already matched up. I can do one algorithm to cycle the other 3 edges around. In this case, that would be this algorithm, and that solves all of my edges. So once my edges are solved, I can do the last step of my 4-look last layer with very simple removals and inserts, is what I like to call them. I'm pretty sure that's not an original name, so don't take it from me. But to set that up on 3x3, I'm basically left with a case like the E-perm on the 3x3, where all the edges are solved, all the corners are unsolved. So a way to do this is you can just remove a corner with R'(dr) and see where it has to go. So yellow, blue, red belongs here, blue, orange belongs here, red, green goes here, green, orange comes here. So I can remove this corner with R'(dr), move where it has to go, insert with R'(d')R. That has to go here, so R'(dr). and then I'll move to the next one, R prime D prime R, insert it to where it has to go, R prime D R, insert that to where it has to go, R prime D prime R. So just like that, I've shuffled all the corners around, and this is the same idea. So I see yellow, sorry, this is not yellow, this is teal. Well, no, this is, oh, this is tan, right? I think this is called tan. I may be incorrect. It's either tan or cream. You call it whatever you want to call it, honestly. This is more teal, I would say. So yes, this edge piece belongs here. So I would do R prime DR. And on the Megaminx, you can do this neat finger trick where you'd use the pinch to pull the D layer. So yeah, pinch, pull it here, it belongs there. This belongs here, so move it over. This belongs back here, so move it there. This belongs here, so move it here. This belongs here, that belongs there. And the Megaminx is solved. So yeah, I hope this was fun to watch. I know it wasn't really a tutorial. There were a few algorithms in there, especially for the last layer. But you can clearly see how this puzzle is basically just a glorified 3x3. It's not even a big cube, let's be real. It's just F2L, 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 and F2L. And then the last layer. So you're doing the F2L 6 times. And the 6th time is the hardest. Oh, well, no, the 5th time is the hardest. So yeah, it's not too bad. I would recommend learning how to solve it and just grind Megaminx. You will see improvement. Like, it's genuinely one of those events where if you just grind, you'll improve rapidly. But yeah, for all the non-cubers watching this, I hope this kind of like interests you to learn more about the Megaminx and see how simple it really is. If you know how to solve the Rubik's Cube, you can literally get to the last layer. And all of the last layer algorithms you can just use. Like, for example, one of the corner orientations that I did was this. And you don't have to do this way. This is basically like this case on the 3x3. And you don't have to learn an algorithm. You can just do like these 4 moves. And that solves the corners. You can literally do that on the Megaminx. So I would not recommend it. But that's how you would do it. So like, yeah, you don't have to learn the algorithms, but you should learn how to solve one because it is definitely fun. And I loved solving this puzzle. And here's a neat little bonus trick if you don't know this. If you have a 3-corner cycle, then it's like an A-perm, but there's a neater way to do the A-perm, which also works for normal A-perms, which I don't know if you knew, but you can set this up with an F, and you can just solve, like, instead of doing a normal A-perm like that, you can basically, or instead of doing, like, remove this corner, get it here, get it here, get it here, all of that, you can do F, and now this sets it up to a comb, which is this. So this goes here, that goes there, and F prime. So it's a pretty, I did it wrongly, of course. But yeah, it's a pretty neat trick. This is the inverse of that. So it's a pretty neat trick, which you can learn if you want to. I use it in the Megaminx, so here, this has to go here, this has to go here, this has to come here. So F, here, F prime. Neat trick. So yes, thanks a lot. That's all for this video. So thanks a lot for watching, and share this with your friends if you found it interesting. I wouldn't say it was educational, but a little bit educational, more just interesting. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned to the channel. A lot of fun stuff coming up. Peace.